Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and they're probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to Rise Opinion Don't Matter. Welcome, welcome to the OG Network. Hopefully, y'all having a blessed, wonderful day. Hopefully, all is well. And hopefully, God is being good in your life. And hopefully, you have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And hopefully, prayerfully, your day is going well. And let's get into it. Today is a beautiful day. Um, Make sure y'all do a brother a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it very, very much. Trying to get myself a little bit more situated here. Of course, y'all know how I am. For those that be on my lives and watch my show. And yeah, it's been a beautiful day. Of course, we had the State of the Union last night. I didn't watch it all. What's up, Fatacula? How you doing, brother? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Um, Make sure y'all take advantage of that promo code. Before I get into what else, other subjects that we're gonna probably get into today, make sure y'all take advantage of that promo code using OG Network 26. That's OG Network 26. Make sure y'all take advantage of that promo code on all your top to bottom hair and skincare purchases. Real talk. Oh, you watched the State of the Union. Honestly, Jay, I didn't catch every single thing, and it's up to you, Jay. But brother, you know you welcome in on the show. I know you're a busy man and everything, but if you want to get in and you want to powwow about it on the live, Jay, you know you always welcome in. I know you're busy and I know it's not always time, but there I did not get it. I watched most of it, but the thing I don't know I have to do is I have to always go back and dissect all that I've seen. So even though I watched it, I still have to finish going back. I still have to go back and watch. I always go back and watch so I can sit down and actually dissect what I watched. And but watching the Democrats, and you know they just prove me to be right over and over and over again. And it's not even just about just this ain't really even got anything to do so much with Trump. But to hear him say that the government of the United States of America should always be about American citizens first, America first. And the vast majority of the Democrats did not stand for that. Only further proves everything I've been saying is that the Democratic Party is not about American citizens, they're about their party. And that right there proves it. It's because they're not willing to stand when he said it was about American citizens first. They wasn't willing to stand for that. Why? Because that does not benefit their party. And this is the reason why we have what we have. This is the reason why you see what you see. They're telling you who they are, and for some reason, people still refuse to believe them. They're telling you they care nothing about America, and for some reason, American citizens still refuse to believe them. They're telling you everything across the board of where they stand as it relates to the hardworking class of America, and American citizens still refuse the obvious. Now, this is not Ron's opinion. This is what you saw. If you watched it and you seen their reactions to what he was saying, none of what he was saying was against America, but yet they still wouldn't do it. They still wouldn't stand. Now, a few of them did stand when he started talking about insider trading, and this is the real part that I want to get into. Is that as it relates to insider trading. Um, this is where they did stand in a little. They did. Not all of them, just a handful of them. But when it as it relates to insider trading and being somebody that is, again, I always relate what I do based off of what you see politically, right? Being somebody who invests in the stock market on the regular basis. No one that has a 401k right now, no one that has investments that has been sitting in there for quite a while can complain about the results that they're getting in their investments right now. You can't. Because if you compare where we were, your 401k was over a year ago, compared to right now, unless you just did not give a darn and you made some bad choices, you should be doing your 401k should look nice right now, financial. Now, again, that's the hardworking everyday citizens that is trying to find a way for you to be able to 401ks is for you to have something to retire on. You should have something to retire on. And this is where it's affecting all these political decisions have affected. These political and these Democrats have been doing this inside trading for a long time. And that's why I said it needs to stop. And here's the thing. Some of the things that I have invested, even though Trump says some things that could negatively invest some of the stuff that I invest in, especially as it relates to some of these healthcare companies, right? But I don't care. And I'm explaining to you why I don't care. They're still going to make money. They're just not going to make it the way that they've been making. This is the reason why, like, especially when he said, stop funding this stuff and give the money to the citizens. The Democrats don't want that. I'm explaining to you why Democrats don't want that. Because most of those Democrats have their money invested into these pharmaceutical companies and all of these big pharmaceutical companies and these medical companies and all this other stuff. They have their money invested in all this stuff. So the reason why they don't want the government to give it to people to make their own decision, because that's where a lot of them got their money at. That means they're either gonna have to pull out, or hope that they can survive that. Meaning, here's the thing: they still gonna make money. It's just gonna come back. It's just gonna give the power back to the citizen. And this is why I 100% agree with Trump when he says this. If you give the money to the citizens, that means that the medical companies that provide health care have to compete again for your dollar. This is why I love the way, as opposed to how people say, oh, socialist. No, this is the reason why I like the way American system is set up for the most part. Not everything. I mean, capitalism works better for the consumer. I know people might disagree with me, but capitalism works better for the consumer if you keep capitalism and competitive out there on the forefront. But when you start to give people the ability to monopolize, this is where you start to really go into a problem. You get what I'm saying? That's why I like capitalism. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. But this is why I like capitalism, because it opens up the door for everybody for you to have to compete for somebody's dollar. So if the government stops funding these companies and give the citizens the money to let them decide where they get their medical insurance from, that forces these medical insurance providers to be more competitive and offer you more for your money, more bang for your buck. To that way that they'll have to compete. More likely, if there's enough of them, the prices are going to go down. Why? Because they're going to have to find that sweet spot where you're willing to pay for what they're willing to offer. And in order for them to get the vast majority of that money, they're going to have to bring the prices down. But if there's no competition for the dollar and they don't have to compete for it, and the government just keep giving them what they want, that's why prices are so high. And this is why this is why stuff is so high. Now, here's the thing. If you start to travel through the country as it relates to fuel costs, right? Every time I travel to a place where Democrats run, gas prices are still high. Philadelphia still got high gas prices. And when you get out of Philadelphia and you go to places where mostly Republicans run, gas prices are low. And why is that? Philadelphia right now is turning into a more of a crap hole than what it was. I'm telling y'all right now, the way that the direction of Philadelphia is going, and I'm telling y'all because this is the city that I love Philadelphia, but I hate it. I love it and hate it at the same time. I don't like none of the politicians in Philadelphia. I think they're all stupid and dumb. Every last one of them. The decisions that they make and the stuff that they're doing, they are becoming it's becoming one of the most communistic, and I don't even know if that's a word, cities that I've ever seen. And I know New York is kind of like that too, but Philadelphia is turning into the same hot mess. Yeah. And this is why you have to strip control, Joyce, from them. But if they have to compete for your dollar, then that means that you're gonna have to start lowering prices. And this is the reason why. Listen, they keep hollering healthcare, but there is no care in the health that they're providing. None. They don't want to talk about that. Listen, Pennsylvania is a swing state, right? Meaning that you got a lot of Republicans, you got a lot of Democrats, and it could go either way. But if I go into Lancaster, which is mostly Amish Republicans in that area, the gas prices in that area is almost 50 to 60 cents a gallon cheaper than the city of Philadelphia. Maybe even more in some cases. Maybe even more in some cases. But see, what people don't realize is that the city of Philadelphia love to tax everybody. New York will love to tax everybody. This is a Democratic move. Keep taxing the hardworking citizens. They keep acting like it's for billion and they want to tax the rich. But that's not going to happen because all the rich going to do is leave your country, leave your city. So all of that y'all keep doing, they say they're doing to help make things affordable, but every move that they make is making things unaffordable for the average citizen and working class citizen. Everything that they're doing is affecting the working class citizen and making it unaffordable for them. And my thing is this is that because when you go to most Republican states, they're not trying to drain their citizens out of their money through taxes. That is the vast difference. They're not trying to drain the hardworking citizens of all of their tax money by putting in all these regulations, by putting in all of these taxes, this and tax that and tax this. And they become very, in my opinion, probably more efficient with the money that they got to work with because they actually get more results. The city of Philadelphia get all of this revenue and don't know what to do, and they still haven't had a clue how to manage it. They just keep on adding more bull crap to the fire and expect that it's going to work. They're literally running the city of Philadelphia like throwing dice. You're going to crap out way more than you ever going to win. That's how they're running the city of Philadelphia. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Yeah, I watched it, and like I said, I didn't even get a chance to finish watching the whole thing, but I watched the vast majority of it, and I love the way he present things. I love the way he presented things, and I love the way he, again, and the way he referred that question, he knew they wasn't going to stand, but he did it. The reason why Trump did that is to show y'all where their reaction was going to be when it comes to America first. So if he throw a question out there, he letting y'all know this ain't just about me. They don't like America. And they showed it when they stood there when they sat there on their behind and would not stand for America first. The government taking care of American citizens first. He basically showed y'all right there that they don't care about Americans. Democrats don't care about Americans. They care more about their party and they care about everybody else but this country. And you have to be a moron. If you're an American citizen, if you live in this country and you're an American citizen and you keep voting that way, there is no excuse at this point. I mean, I don't care how somebody vote. That's your choice to vote however way you want to vote. That's the beauty that you have in America, to vote how you want to vote. But when you continuously vote for the very same conditions, that's why you keep getting it. Because they're teaching you how to, all they worrying about is spewing noise and spewing hate, but they have no results and they have no fixes. Trump has shown, in 1 year, he has shown you how to do this, and he ain't even a career politician. And I'm gonna be honest with you, everything that he said he was going to do, and I kept saying this on mostly all my lives. If this thing plays out the way I see it, first of all, I knew he knew what he was talking about. That's number one. Number two, I said more likely. I said if this thing plays out the way he's saying it, America's going to be in a great position because I knew what he was saying. It made sense to me. That's why I shifted and moved my investments in a way to make sure that I benefit from it. I did. And I was talking on my live and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and this is why I'm going to do that, and this is why I'm going to do that. I'm listening to what they're saying politically, and I'm hoping that he's able to pull that off. But it's turned around, bam, and look at the results. But at the end of the day, I'm glad he did it the way he did it. I'm glad he did. I'm glad Trump did it the way he did it, to let people see exactly what they are and let them show themselves to be who they are. And for those that are interested, of course, crypto is kind of on the upswing right now, which is a nice thing to see. Because I've been investing in crypto for a while, but as it relates to the stock market, of course, my portfolio is not down, but the last few days it's been going down. We're in earnings season right now. And I always say, and I know I'm switching shares, but I don't want to get too far just caught up in that one conversation. But we're in earnings season right now. So a lot of these companies announcing their earnings. So you're going to see a whole lot of dip up and down, up and down, up and down with the stock market. A couple of companies that I had money invested in. Well, I still have money invested in. Started backtracking on their dividends. Hold on one second. Yeah, I agree. Especially all right, especially with the property tax. This is the one tax that, out of all of the taxes, that I just disagree with. I think this is just my personal opinion, and this is how I think taxes should work when it comes to property. There should be no such thing as a property tax. The only tax you should pay on the property is when you first buy it. That's it. There should be a one-time pay on your tax on your property when you buy it and when you sell it. That's it. No one should have to pay property taxes in no state across the country, nowhere. When you purchase your house, the moment you purchase your house, the only thing you should pay your tax you should pay in the house is a purchase tax. That's it. If you buy a house, you pay a purchase tax. That's it. And if you sell the house, you pay taxes on the profit that you make. Reasonable, not no drastic amount. A reasonable tax on the property based on the profits that you made off the house if you sell it. You should pay a property. That's where taxes from property should go. When it's sold and when it's bought. That's it. No one should have to pay no monthly taxes on that, no yearly taxes on your property. That's ridiculous. It's a ripoff. It's a way to extort people out of their property. That's the 100 purpose behind property tax is if I can't extort you out the property, I'll keep extorting you out of the money. That's where I have a problem with that. Because I'm extort you out your hard working money. But if you don't pay us the taxes, then we're going to extort you out your property. Meanwhile, they have nothing invested in that property whatsoever. They didn't fix nothing, repair nothing, do anything. They just want to suck you out of your property if you don't pay property tax. That's why I 100% disagree with property tax. There should be a one-time tax when you purchase that property, and that's it. Now, if you sell the property and you make some type of profit, I can understand you say maybe you have to pay a tax on that, but that's it. I don't agree with property taxes. Wait. Let me go back. All right. Hold on. No more with the fabulous tax break for America's men. Right. And these Democrats are fighting against everything that is beneficial to America. Yeah. So again, these people, this is how their logic is. And I'm gonna use what Fat Tatula picked right here. Could you imagine paying taxes for every mile you drive? Right? All right, so again, you can't make this stuff up. The city, they want to, California implemented a mile tax, right? I want y'all to hear this. This is how freaking stupid these people are. This one is hilarious. All right, so imagine I live in the state of California and they going to charge me per mile to drive, right? So the whole purpose behind this is for what? How is this going to affect billionaires? I want y'all to hear this. How is any of this? This is why they always go after hard-working class citizens and no one else. People that are on welfare are not getting up going to work. So it definitely don't affect them. They might drive a little bit to go pick up their groceries and stuff like that. But again, it does not affect them at all. It definitely don't affect billionaires because guess what? Billionaires get in planes. Billionaires catch cabs. I mean, they go through limousine services and stuff like that. They in planes. They ain't worrying about the driving miles. They jumping over everything. And even if they did, they don't care because it ain't gonna be no money that they're gonna care about because they're gonna write that off as a business expense. So they never going to be affected by that, no matter which way you look at that. But look at the hardworking citizen trying to drive every single day to go to work and come back home. I wouldn't even get up and go to work no more. If I had to pay a mile tax, why in the world would I get up and go and work anymore? I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. Why? Because by the time I drive to work, by the time I drive back home, by the time I pay the car insurance, by the time I pay the car note, and the mile every tax every mile, I'm only going to go to work so that they can take everything. But this is the logic that they spend to people. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that has zero effect on billionaires. They want to tax the everyday hard work and more money just so they can line their pockets with it. What's the difference between that and slavery? What is the difference between that and slavery? If they taking everything you make in taxes, what do you have? But they say they trying to make life affordable, but keep doing things to make things unaffordable. That don't even make sense to me. Raising tolls every time you travel from state to state, they raising tolls all the time. Getting rid of more employees, but raising tolls. New Jersey, we're going to put up the toll camera and stuff like that so they can just bill you. But again, for what? So they can steal more money from the taxpayer. Because here's the thing, billionaires are not traveling these roads like that. They jumping over everything because they got money to jump over. You know who that's going to affect? Everyday hard working class citizens. But because they're so greedy and so irresponsible with money, they keep on acting like they need more of it. We did when we keep electing people to do it. And I understand that the taxes started a long time ago and it was really a voluntary basis. It wasn't supposed to be law. But my thing is this, when you keep voting for politicians that keep wanting to tax stuff because they don't know how to manage a bank account, you voted for that. So the real answer to that question is everybody that keep voting for people like that, put that into effect. Because here's the thing, the city of Philadelphia, if you're driving down the city, if you're driving down Broad Street in the city of Philadelphia, right? Now, if you go past 25 miles per hour on Broad Street, which is the main artery of Philadelphia, they're going to write you a $100 ticket. Guess who drives down Broad Street every single day? Hardworking citizens of the city of Philadelphia. So if you're trying to pass somebody because they're going 15 miles per hour, or they're in the middle of the street because they have people in the city want to double park a lot of time, so you got to try to speed into other traffic to get around that traffic, and there you go. Because you got too fast, now you got a ticket. So now my question is, how is that making it affordable to be in the city of Philadelphia? Because some of these people, because the traffic is so bad, is trying to just hurry up and get to work so they don't be late, even though some of them probably is leaving early enough. So my point is, how is that making the city of Philadelphia affordable when y'all keep finding more slick ways to take money out of the hard-working citizens? Because none of this stuff, once again, affect billionaires. It only affects the hard-working citizens. No billionaire is going to be affected by that. You're absolutely right, Joyce. The second they say free, vote the other way. Yes, you're right. It was. Problem is, we kept voting for politicians that wanted more taxes. Over the years, we kept voting for them. And I want you to understand that the Democratic Party is the number one corporate of that. Now, yeah, actually, this right here is more of accuracy. And what Jay is talking about, he's at fantastic. He's more accurate. If you really want to go back, he's actually right about that. There's always been some form of taxes to get in and out of a country, to travel. You know what I mean? Like, if you go back to biblical times, Caesar was what? He was a tax, they was a tax collector. Then, you had to pay different fees and stuff to get things. That's what taxes are. The thing is, if I'm running a country and I keep taxing people, I'm only going to make it unaffordable. But where is the accountability on how I handle the revenue that's already coming in? Here's the point that I'm making with that. The Biden administration left billions and billions of dollars of military equipment in another country that was paid for by taxes, by the United States citizens' taxes. Citizens of America, businesses and everything, paid the money to have all this military equipment built. They thought so little of the equipment that they left it in another country. That's a waste of your money. The United States government always overpaying for something that should not be that much. And here's my point. I'm going to run a commercial, and I'm going to come back to this point that I'm getting ready to make again. So hang in there for 30 seconds and watch this commercial.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
And we're back. And make sure y'all take advantage of that OG Network 26 promo code for all your top to bottom purchases. If you're not sure where the store is at, the link to the store is right here on my channel. All you have to do is put in promo code OG Network 26 and you'll get 15% off of all your purchases of top to bottom hair and skincare product if you spend $35 or more. So $35 or more, 15% discount, top to bottom hair and skincare products. If you're not sure where to find the store at, the link to the store is right here on my channel. And guess what, y'all? They make wonderful hair care products, wonderful skincare products, wonderful candles. And I love their product, and I personally use their products myself. And let's go. Free is the magic word for fool me once. With New York City, like being fooled. Because New York City, like being fooled, I will say be with New York City. But again, let me back. The left and they're on their purposes for to be the rebels to take it. Blue wave. Tsunami is coming. Here's the thing. Again, in America, you got the right to vote when you're. But I'm gonna go back to the question at hand is that I had a thought, and I want to get back to my thought. And as it relates to top to bottom hair and skincare products, again, they make products. They're right here, located in the United States of America. So if you're a person that wants to support businesses that are right here in America, please check out top to bottom hair and skincare products. Thank y'all. All right, that's funny. That is funny. I wish. Honestly, I wish. But unfortunately, we're stuck with them. But it's, like I said, y'all, it's from a financial perspective, you can't tell me that the Trump administration is not trying to do everything they can do to help the American citizen. And if you start looking at all the decisions that they've been trying to make, and I'm not saying 100% of them, of course not. Benefits are all, billionaires are always going to have some benefit in this too. But you can't run a country trying to make everything free. You can't. But the only thing you can do is sell the idea of free. But here's what y'all got to understand. There is no such thing as free. Somebody got to do it for free in order for you to get it for free. That's a form of slavery. And I use this terminology all the time. In order for you to get it for free, someone else have to be willing to do it for free. So when you take like New York, when this guy started talking about all of this stuff for free, all of this stuff for free. Okay, so where are the slaves you're going to get to do it for free? If you're going to provide all this stuff for a group of people for free, because you can't give it free to everybody, because somebody got to actually go do the actual work to work the farm and build and make all this stuff that you say that you want to give to other people for free. So who are the slaves you're going to get to do it for free? Because that's what it's going to take. You're going to have to force some people, a group of people, to do it for free in order to give that thing to someone else for free. If I wanted to give out free cars, right? Someone has to build them for free in order for you to get it for free, right? I can't build a car by myself. So I'm gonna have to go build cars. I'm gonna have to go get everything necessary to build cars. But I gotta force everybody who's building those cars to do it for free. Meaning there can be no cost to anyone in order for me to give the car away to someone else for free. So who are the slaves y'all gonna go find to do it for free? Because that's the only way you're gonna be able to do it. Shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about. This is when people say stupid stuff. Anyway. Right. But again, if I wanted to feed everybody for free, if everybody was supposed to get free food, right? Who's going to go produce, who's going to go grow this food and cultivate the land and do all of this stuff on the ground farming wise in order for you to get it for free? In order for them to get it for free, who's going to do all the work for free? I would like to know. I would like to know. Now, I'm not going to argue with the fact that Bill Clinton did a good job financially. I will agree. I will actually agree with you with that. Bill Clinton, when he was in office, he did a good job. I'm not going to disagree with that when it comes to financial aspect of it. That's about it. I'm not going to argue with that part. But how did he do it? And if you look at some of the comparisons to what Trump is doing now and some of the stuff that Bill Clinton did, you'll understand. Because a lot of the stuff that Trump is doing is not new ideas. It's just common sense ideas. This is where y'all miss it at. What Trump is saying is not a new idea. It's just common sense. He's not running around and saying that this is not like he's the only one that thought this up. The thing of it is that this is the direction the country needs to always go, and y'all just went left field. Now you're just talking stupid. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I don't care what you say. No, he did not. No, he did not. No, he didn't. And I'm going to tell you how, and my thing is this, you need to go for honesty. Now, Bill Clinton, I can rock with you with. Obama, no, he didn't. You need to go do your homework for real, for real. He was the president, but he wasn't doing what you say he was doing. That had nothing to do with Obama, honestly. Because you can't complain about people fighting against you about everything that you're doing. And none of the stuff that you say you did had missing. Obama was the reason why most African-American people in that time period could not get a house. So for me, no, Obama was not good for that. There's more factors to play in that. Obama was the reason why most black people couldn't even afford a home at the time. He made it complicated, extremely complicated for you to be able to purchase a home in that time period. So the only thing Obama did was make more rich people rich. By far more rich. He's the reason why Congress got so much money. If you look at what he did, that's the reason why Congress people in Congress got so much. Because that's when all of the big inside trading started with him. So don't understand something. People know how to inflate numbers. People know how to manipulate numbers to make it look like something that it ain't. Now, Bill Clinton, I can rock with you with that. But Obama, no. I know a little bit more. I know more details about that to know that was more bullcrap than anything. It wasn't real. That's why but listen, that's the reason why a lot of the stuff that he was doing was more of hiding stuff than it was actual stuff. They did a very good job of manipulating numbers to make sure people didn't see what you really should have saw. But once Trump got in office, you really start to see it. How in the world can you say Obama did a good job when he wanted to punish people, punish citizens who did not want that health care? So if it was a good job, then why did you need to punish citizens, punish them $600 if they did not take the health care? Once again, you're putting it back on the working class citizens of America. So if I did not want the health care, the way you thought fixing the health care was, if they don't take it, we're going to punish, we're going to just strip them of the money and take it out of their pocket. We're going to fine them for not taking it. We're going to fine them for not taking it. So once again, you're putting the burden back on American working class citizens. And he agreed to it. But I'm not going to entertain that conversation no more. Obama was one of the worst presidents we ever had. Sorry. I give him no credit. Zero. How in the world can you say he lowered the deficit when we was that deficit? First of all, he's not 100% responsible for the deficit. I blame all of them when it comes to the United States deficit. And what you're not realizing is that he's putting the burden back on the working class citizen. This is where I keep trying to tell y'all. Y'all keep putting the burden back on the working class citizen. So you can't stake claim to a great economy when all of the deficit is coming out of the working class citizens' pockets. This is the reason why I so much agree with tariffs. Because if it's coming from someone else and it's not the working class citizens, then it's legitimate. But if you're taking more money out of the working class citizens, all you're doing is shifting the burden to the citizens and trying to make the numbers look good. That's not a great economy. That's going to collapse at some point because it's on the burden of it's burdening the people down. Not taking it. That's the reason why all these other countries was doing so much money and so much corruption and taking so much money from America and benefiting so greatly under Obama because he wasn't holding them accountable. But when you put in tariffs and you tax other countries to do business in your country, that means that that money comes back here. And the tax burden is not 100% put on American citizens. I'm not even going to entertain that stupid conversation. Yeah, they do. They need to be put away. And again, and then people want to bring up, listen, one thing you can't say about is that they keep bringing up, they want to talk about COVID-19, but they don't want to talk about the fact that all of those people that died from the vaccine. And my thing is this, Trump got to hold himself accountable for that part because he believed the hype like they did. Even Trump, when it comes to that COVID situation, had to hold himself accountable for it because he believed the hype like they did. He didn't realize until later that it was all a scam. It was all a scam. The whole thing was a scam. Look how many people are suffering from that vaccine. Look how many people today is suffering from that jab. Vast majority of Americans, they didn't die from the COVID. Most of those people died from the treatments that they were given. 90-something% of those people died from the treatments that they were getting for something that wasn't even that serious. Now, if you're going to make statements, make sure you know what you're talking about since you want to talk this stuff. And like I said before, Nancy Pelosi voted to increase minimum wage. This goes to show you have no idea about finances. This goes to show you have no idea about money. Because voting to higher minimum wages does not benefit nobody. Does not help any economy whatsoever. See, the idiocy of people always think minimum wage has something to do with a living wage, and it doesn't. Minimum wage, again, has nothing to do with a living wage. Minimum wage is designed for small businesses. So this is where the hypocrisy comes in at. Kamala Harris went on when she was running as a campaign, said, oh, she loved small businesses. Democrats always trying to say they love small businesses, right? This is one of the things that they always try to talk about. They want to help small businesses, right? This is am I right about this? Ain't the Democrats, one of their biggest slogans is to help small businesses? Isn't that what they always talk about doing, is helping small businesses? So explain to me, how can a small business turn a profit when they have to pay somebody $20 an hour and they're not even making a profit as it is? When they have to hire people at $20 an hour, how in the world are a small businesses going to be able to survive that? This is why I know financially these idiots in Democratic Party don't know what they be talking about. Because if I'm starting a small business, the minimum wage is designed for a small business to be able to compete with big businesses who are able to pay a higher wages. So, of course, if I open up a small business, I can't pay somebody $20 an hour. So what I have to do is I got to go look at the minimum that I can pay somebody in hopes to find somebody that is willing to work for my company at that wage. That's what that is for, you idiot. That's what the reason behind it. That's why you can always refuse to work for that money. You don't have to accept a job that pays minimum wage. You can say, I don't want to work for that. I want more money. So once again, y'all don't know what y'all be talking about. Minimum wage isn't designed for that. The minimum wage is designed for small businesses to be able to compete with big business. That's all it is. But if I raise the minimum wage, all I'm going to do is put small businesses out of business, and big businesses are going to have total control. So again, y'all don't know what y'all be talking about. That's what minimum wage is for. But if Democrats keep standing up there selling you the lie, you're going to keep buying into it. Because if I raise the minimum wage, everybody got to raise their prices up in order for them to be able to make a profit. So now the regular citizens and everybody else have to pay more money for the product that they have in Democratic ran cities because they thought raising the minimum wage is going to be beneficial. That don't hurt billionaires. That only hurts hardworking, everyday American citizens to the point where they just say it's not even worth getting up to do it no more. It's not even worth getting up doing it no more. But y'all think y'all know stuff and y'all don't know what y'all be talking about. That's how idiotic y'all are. That's how idiotic y'all don't know what y'all be talking about. Yep. Yeah, he probably did. And that's why all of a sudden he became that's why Obama is a multimillionaire. Let me ask you a question. How did Obama's net worth become $70 million? When his paycheck don't even come close to that. His 8 years in office don't even come close to that. So explain to me, how did he get to that money? It doesn't this is what I'm trying to explain to you. It doesn't get them out of poverty. This is how stupid y'all are. Raising minimum, I know he's trying to say raising minimum wage gets people out of poverty. This is how dumb y'all are. It doesn't. Because when you raise minimum wage, everything else goes up. So guess what? You're still back there in poverty, but you're just making more money an hour, but you're still in poverty. Why? Because all of the cost goes up because you thought it was going to work. And guess what? Look at California right now. They did all of that, and guess what happened? They still got a problem. California did everything that this person said, and they're the worst of the worst. Small businesses give big support to local schools, and Joyce, I agree. None of these people has common sense. Small businesses are struggling right now. I don't know about that. Well, it depends on where your small business is at. If your small business is in a Democratic ran city, yeah, you are struggling because they still believe in taking everything that you work for. But I was riding, I remember a little while ago, I was riding, and this is when the economy was kind of bad. I went into this one neighborhood I'd never been at before, and this particular restaurant only takes cash. They don't take bank cards, they don't take anything, right? They only take cash in this restaurant, which I didn't realize it when I got in there. And I started looking around, I was like, wait a minute, everybody's paying with cash. So I had to ask the lady, I said, y'all not take bank cards? They said, nope. One thing we take is cash. I was like, oh, okay. So I had to go hit an ATM machine, get some cash out, which is cool. I didn't have a problem with that. I liked it. That place was one of the most busiest restaurants I've ever seen in a long time. One of the most busiest restaurants I've seen in a long time. And this was a while ago. This is when the economy was like when Joe Biden was in office. Everything else, nobody was really going into the restaurants, nothing like that. But I just happened to swing by this one spot in a Republican area. And people in there paying, it's packed. And I was like, wow, why is this restaurant so much busier than everybody else? Because they was in an area that wasn't trying to regulate them out of business. And they were thriving, and the citizens in that area were thriving. Why? Because they wasn't ran by Democrats. It was ran by mostly Republicans. You don't even see that in Philadelphia. I go in Philadelphia, the restaurants are darn near empty. Still to this day, darn near empty. Oh, that food was good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I like breakfast food, but the food was good. The service was great. The people was kind. It was a nice area and everything, and it was just very different. It was a different feel. I'm not saying I haven't been in places in Philadelphia and places that have been nice, but I'm gonna tell you like this: that place was packed. It was busy, and they didn't. And I'm like, this is a cash only place, and they are thriving business wise. City of Philadelphia is one of the largest cities in the United States of America. I go into the restaurants, and they still to this day are dead. Why? Because the city of Philadelphia, like most Democrat cities, are flushing the income out of the citizens. They are putting all the burden on the hard-working class citizens, and they don't care about nothing else because they are too retarded to know how to run a city on a budget and actually save money. All they doing is just dragging and draining the citizens, and there's people like this user person who don't understand how things work, and they keep just, their hate for Trump is always there anyway. You're never going to get away from that TDS. That's just the way they are. That's just there. But they don't understand how the economy works. That's why I went on a lot of the stuff that I went on. That's why when you look at my old videos, when I was talking about what was going to come of this, I was doing it 100% correct. When Trump ran on his campaign and I said if he did this, this is what's going to happen. If this happened, this is going to happen. Why? Because I knew what I was talking about. I wasn't talking off the side of my face like that person's doing. 100%. Because it's beneficial to the citizens of America. It has nothing to do with Trump. I can care less who's there. What I care about is what their intentions are. And if their intentions are right, and we get to what their intentions are, we as American hardworking citizens can benefit. More than just finding slick ways to make rich people more rich. I'm not rich. And some of the stuff that Trump, with decisions that he make, might affect some of my investments in a negative way. I'm okay with that. As long as it's beneficial to the American working class citizen who's been ignored for far too long. Every time you hear them talk, it's all about the poor and the poor and the poor. You poor because you don't want to do nothing. If you poor and you sitting around every single day not doing nothing to get out of poverty, I feel no sympathy for you. Sorry, I don't. If you impoverished and you refuse to get up and do anything about your situation, you earning it every single day when you don't do nothing to get out of it. So that I feel no sympathy for lazy people who's impoverished and choose to still do the same thing every single day and don't try to fix it. Don't try to get up and go to work. So I don't have no sympathy for people like that because I work every single day of my life. So I have no sympathy. My sympathy is for the hard working class Americans because they have been the ones, by and large, have been ignored and taken advantage of. They are the ones that have been ignored by far and been taken advantage of the most. The hard-working class citizens of America is the ones that no one has sympathy for until we got this president in office. Because the vast majority of the decisions that he's been making has been more beneficial to the hard-working class citizen. Finally, we're getting our just due. Is it other people is billionaires and millionaires going to benefit to some extent? Yeah. Even some of the impoverished. If they actually take advantage of the opportunity. But I am not interested in rhetoric. I'm interested in results. And one thing you cannot do is argue with all of the positive results we've gotten in this country. So y'all can hate the man or hate this person or hate that person all you want. I'm not here for hate because I don't hate nobody. But what I do want is the hard working class citizens is to get their just due and then stop these cities that are ran by Democrats who keep saying they're going to do stuff and not doing it. And it's just destroying the average person's ability to take care of themselves because they're being sucked dry in taxes. And I'm not talking about, oh, it's labeled as a tax. When I say taxes, I'm talking about stuff that's being charged to them in the form of something else, but it's all just another way of form of tax. That's it. City of Philadelphia has one of the highest highest sales tax in the country. They raising the sales tax. They threw in the sugar tax, but they still keep talking about they want to look out for the citizens of Philadelphia, but yet they keep squeezing them for more money. They raised the property tax, still squeezing them for more money. Putting in cameras to try to write more tickets, squeezing them for more money. All of that stuff affects the working class, nobody else. They say, oh, we want people to get on the public transportation and put your life on the line when all of the crime happens on public transportation. No, we don't want you to be safe in your car, even though that ain't even all that safe. Go on the subway where they pissing on the trains. Go on the subway where they getting robbed and jacked and purses are being snatched and all this other stuff. Oh, no, we want you to take public transportation. Yeah, put your life on the line even more. Meanwhile, there's no security down there. There's no protection down there. Nothing. But that's what they want you to do. But guess what? They're not doing it. But that's what they want for you because they don't care about citizens. Working class citizens, they give the middle finger to. They can care less. What they say out of their mouth is not what they actually do. You look at the decisions that they make, they by far and large hinders and destroys the working class citizens in their cities. And they do it over and over. They do it over and over. But they'll still sit there and try to tell you they're for the working class. No, they're not. Everything that they do is the very opposite of helping the working class. Everything that they do is the very opposite of helping the everyday citizen of the city of Philadelphia and a lot of these places that are ran by Democrats. But they'll sit there and spew it to you, and it sounds good when it comes to your ears. Oh, that's a great idea. But then you got to really dissect what they're doing. The whole purpose behind the cameras is to stop people from speeding down Broad Street. Listen, I've driven Broad Street thousands and thousands of times. Broad Street is crowded. There's no way you can speed. You might have a handful of people once in a while trying to weave through traffic. But it was never that big of an idea. They blew it up so that they can try to get some people on board with it. And now they can manipulate the system and strip you of more money and extort you out of more money. Same thing, and it's not making things safer. That's what they're selling you. What it's doing is it's lining their pockets with more money. And they already know that the citizens of Philadelphia is never going to fight against it. They're never going to stand against it. And the leadership that they're going to put into place is always going to be for it and not against it. Because they vote blue no matter who. But put me in charge of the city of Philadelphia and watch I can turn that whole situation around. The first thing I'm going to do is go in there and clean house. I'm getting rid of junk. And when I talk about junk, I'm going to start firing people. They're not going to like me. I'm going to get rid of all of the people that don't need to be there. I'll fire people and I don't care what the results of it is. Yep. And a lot of and you're right, Mark, most of the laws in the city of Philadelphia, that's where the Liberty Bell, Constitution, a lot of the stuff that has been put into place. And here's the thing, birthright citizenship, when city of Philadelphia is one of those cities, was a sanctuary city. The reason why city of Philadelphia was a sanctuary city is because of slavery. That's all it was for. It was for ascended from slaves. They had a place that they could go, a sanctuary city where they could go live their life in a safe place without somebody trying to attack them, I forced them back into slavery. That was the birthright citizenship. That's why we had sanctuary cities. It has nothing to do with these immigrants that's immigrating from somewhere else. The people that are descendants of slaves, their descendants were brought over here through slavery. They didn't come over here voluntarily or try to escape over here. They were brought over here through slavery. They had nowhere else to go. So that's why we have sanctuary cities. So that the descendants of slaves, when they escaped slavery, they had a safe place to go. But now you want to give some people that have nothing to do with that the very same right. This is why we have a problem with our Supreme Court. This is why we have to be very selective in the people that we are. This is why I love my country and I don't want nobody to take over. When I really started to dig deep dive into this stuff, I realized America, in my opinion, is the greatest country in the world. And I don't want them to mess it up by changing it into something that listen, I don't want to change it into what these other countries are because it ain't so great because they're trying to come here and get it. So I don't want that. I want my country to be great the way it's supposed to be. Yes, America has got some mistakes and it has made some bad decisions. But I still don't want what I see in other countries right here. If it's so great over there, then keep it over there. Don't bring it here. That's why I'm glad we're getting these immigrants out of here as fast and as quick as possible. And last time I looked, between the ones that they deported and the ones that self-deported, we're well over 2 million people out of the country. I love it. And I hope we continue on that path. I'm getting ready to get up out of here, y'all. I got to go. Every single one of y'all. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Appreciate your time. Appreciate it very, very much. And for that one question that somebody asked about my views, it's not YouTube. It's me. If I wanted my views to go up, I know exactly what to do. But because I knew I was going to change a lot of the format of how I do my channel, I knew that it was going to affect my viewership to some extent. But that's okay. I understand that I'm revamping because I did not want my channel to be totally about politics. I do my show in the morning. Sometimes it's about politics. Sometimes it's not. But what I also do is I brought in other things for my channel. And that's why I knew that it was going to affect my viewership. But it'll come back and it's going to come back greater than what it ever was because I'm offering more things on the OG network than I started out with. And that's why I changed it. And I knew that this was going to take place. But it's okay. God bless every single one of y'all. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I'm out of here. Always make God first. Peace.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.